Do you believe in shooting stars and wishing wells? How about zombies, vampires, and all those other creatures you read about in fairy tales? What's your take on superstitions? Oh well, I once heard a story of a certain community where they maintained this practice of not eating the head of a fish. This practice had lasted for several years and people began to ask questions because there were several punishments that were to be apportioned to anyone who ever committed this great abomination of eating the head of a fish. A young man decided to take it upon himself to ask the questions and dig deep into the source of these laws. And when he did so, he was not able to find any satisfactory answer through questions from the elders of the land. So he decided to go deeper and do a research while touring the community museum. The community museum was said to be the house of the founders of this community, the house of the first ancestors. When he went there, he checked around and couldn't find anything helpful. He decided to take a stroll to the backyard where the kitchen was located, and he found something strikingly interesting. And that was the fact that the pots were incredibly small. And he thought to himself, would it be possible to cook a whole fish inside this pot? He said to himself, you would have to cut off the head of a fish to be able to boil it in this pot. But he couldn't make his conclusion off these speculations. So he took the pot to the oldest surviving member of the community. And this old man was said to be the grandson of the founders of the community. He had lived with them in his earlier years of his life. And on the sighting of this pot, the young man exclaimed in remembrance. He said, oh, before our mother would cook a fish, she had to cut off the head just so that the fish could fit into the pot for boiling. This was a very hilarious finding, and everybody sure did laugh at it. Have you ever thought about how, as young people, we have continued to shape our life around superstition, believing that old people are witches, or how that if you swallow the seed of any fruits, the tree will grow on your head? With all the fruits you have swallowed, I mean, most of us would have been carrying forests on our heads right now. And this is why I hate superstitions like Friday the 13th. So if, like me, you saw the topic of this particular round and you wondered, what is Friday the 13th? Oh well, don't bother wasting your data to go on Google to search. Friday the 13th is just a date. Superstitions are not real.